Okay, welcome to day 84 of trying to become a SOC analyst on the LetsDefend platform. We've got our investigations open. Run out of highs and critical, so choosing out of the mediums. The one that jumps out as me as the most interesting is Wscript.exe, usage as a dropper. So I want to take ownership of this one. Now, before we jump into that alert, if we LOLBas, is this a living off the land technique? Yeah, it is. Okay, great. So we know what we're dealing with. It's a living off the land attack technique. So it uses the path Wscript.exe, and what have we got? Execute script stored in alternate data streams. Okay, so it's a way of being able to run, like in this example here, a VBS script. Okay, so it was a living LOLBin, which is what I thought it was, so that's good. So let's investigate the alert. Okay, so looking at the alert, we can see straight away there we've got an injector.vbs, which fits in with the scenario we were just looking at on LOLBas, which showed in their example of them using Wscript to load a VBS file. So let's grab the hash and confirm whether it's malicious or not. So we go to virus total. Okay, injector.vbs. We've got some code insights here. If we just scroll through quickly, looking if it has any mentions of grabbing external file or anything. It contains a remote file download. Okay, as evident in the EUW lava. Anyway, this function, which reads the contents of a file whose path is likely obtained through the script name variable. Alright. Let's download the file. Infected as the password. Grab the download. Where's it? Downloaded 1773. We'll move the zip to my file folder I normally deal with this in, so unzip 77. Oh, it was 17. Infected. Okay, so we've got injector.vbs. Now I'm not sure if OLE, VBA will work on this. Let's test it and see. Injector. Okay. So it's just it's confirming that there is a macro in there. Warning: VBA code contains special characters. Okay, for obfuscation. Looks like it's errored a bit. In fact, it looks like it's more just a Python error there. I'm not seeing. Okay. We could just cat the file and have a look. It looks like it's encoded. So I don't think we're going to get that decoded even with CyberChef. I think at the end of the day we can trust by looking at it that it's obfuscated, so it's trying to hide what it's doing. Virus total is confirmed that it's... Where's virus total? Sorry. that it's flagged as malicious and it has a very bad community score. So we'll ignore that for now, and instead might just grab one of the file reports. Let's have a look. Oh, that's done a Google search for it. Oh, let's go. Looks like I've gone to file scan before for this one. Oh, that was just to file scan. Okay, my bad. Let's invalid URL. Okay, I see what went wrong. We had report in the front there. Alright, let's look at this report. Okay, so it's been high risk. We already knew this. Does it reach out to any network addresses? There's nothing listed there. What I'm looking for is any sort of C2 address that we can grab to see whether or not there's been any network log to that address. We've got some hashes. Well, that's a someone's Yara rule for it. Extracted strings. No, so I'm not seeing an easy to get address that we can check it off. So instead, let's look at the endpoint, and we'll just look at all the logs coming off this IP. Okay, so we've got 4 logs. No details there. This is a get AnyDesk, which is remote login software. AnyDesk and nothing. So January 31st. So it's these two that we're dealing with. This one and this one, the ones that don't have any data. So let's try searching again. Sorry, not source address. I'll have to research. If we have a look at the address, and 31st was the date, so this is the log that we're after. So we're just seeing the destination port, and on this one we're also just seeing the destination port. So let's look at the endpoint. DanielPRD. So this is the process that spawned our alert, the Wscript. We're not getting any more information. Looks like there's VMware running on the endpoint. And no interesting browsing history. So the next thing we could look at is, we're not seeing an obvious reason for how the file got ran on the endpoint. Was it Daniel? Yeah, it is DanielPRD. So I just checked the email service to see. LetsDefend. So there's no emails for Daniel. We can see the script has ran on the endpoint. What we don't have any knowledge of is what has caused it to run. So we might just have a quick scan at some of these IP addresses. And this was the other address. There's only two there to check. Just, whoops. Okay, so this one has been flagged as an abusive IP. So we have confirmation that it's a LOLBin technique. We can see the process running on the endpoint. In the logs, we can see a connection made to a non-standard port. So to destination port 2017, which is suspicious. And on the endpoint, we're seeing a network connection to an IP that's been flagged as malicious. So I think we've got more than enough to start our case. So let's see what the playbook comes up with. So what flagged it? It was the Wscript.exe usage. So unknown or unexpected outgoing traffic, unknown or unexpected service, and application configured to launch automatically. We could nearly flag the outgoing traffic to the port, but in relation to the alert, I think we're going to go for the heading of other. So check if the malware is quarantined or cleaned. Well, we saw the process running, so it's not quarantined. Check if it's malicious. So with the malicious, we had the hash, and it was flagged as malicious, so yes. Malicious. Check if someone's requested the C2 address. Now, we couldn't find any confirmation in the script. Downloaded a copy and ran OLE tool on it. It seemed that that didn't run correctly. We looked at a report on file scan. It didn't seem to have any outgoing connections we could see. We could look at the relations tab in virus total, and it's just that it's scanned behavior. There's no list of any confirmed C2 addresses, and when we looked at the script, there's no way that we're getting anything useful out of it via CyberChef. I think it's beyond my ability to decode that. But we did see that there's a network connection on the endpoint that's been flagged as a malicious IP. So I think we could try any run. Let's just cover all our bases and let's run any run analysis. What have we got? URL, let's upload. Injector. Run a public, I agree. I'm not sure if it's going to run this VBS file. It's only one way to find out. We can see the Wscript running there. Unterminated string. So it looks like it's errored. Did we get any connection info before it errored? No. Executes the JS scripts, and then it got the error when it ran. We could investigate the report a little bit more. We've got the hash, so let's look for a report. No threats detected. This is ran just recently though. This is a alert from 2021. So this report might be similar to what we just got where it errors. But let's see. Looks like it made a few more connections. looking through the lots of Microsoft DNS lookups, nothing there. We've got a network threat listed here. Unknown traffic. Okay, so this is to a 5.1 IP on port 80. So that doesn't match our logs. On our logs we've got an odd destination port. So I think we've done everything we can do there. I'm going to say access because of the malicious IP being listed. We're going to need to contain the endpoint. Yeah, it was the 209 that got flagged. Okay. And we can add some artifacts. So we have the hash. And these old alerts, I'm not having many wins with them lately. Let's see if we can break the losing streak. So we've got a hash. We also have this suspicious IP connection. The fact that it's to a non-standard port is what makes it suspicious in my mind. And what was it? 2017. Okay. I'll pause the video and write some notes. Okay, so I've written up my notes. We've got the MITRE attack techniques, signed binary proxy execution, master/Wscript, ingress tool transfer, application layer protocol, web protocols, obfuscated files or information, network service discovery, and a bit of low confidence with that one. For the alert, we've written the alert SOC 115 Wscript usage as dropper triggered after execution of injector.vbs via Wscript.exe on host DanielPRD. Wscript is a known LOLBin commonly abused to execute malicious scripts. Network logs show outbound connections to 105 on non-standard port 2017 and additional communication with 209 which is flagged as malicious. This indicates the script likely acted as a dropper, establishing external communication. When? We've got the timestamp, the where, the hostname DanielPRD, the 172 internal address, executed injector.vbs via Wscript.exe, outbound connections observed to 105 and 209. Why? The alert was triggered due to suspicious use of Wscript, a commonly abused Windows binary, for executing malicious scripts. Endpoint and network evidence confirm execution of potentially malicious VBS dropper and communication with known malicious infrastructure. Initial infection vector is unknown due to lack of email or additional logs. The host was contained and escalated for further investigation. So while I was writing that up, I did notice that my technique of using OLE tools was a mistake. I was just thinking VBS scripts within an Office document, that's when that tool's useful, but just for VBS apparently it doesn't really help, which might explain why it errored on me. So let's log this, finish our playbook. It might complain about the log, the log's too long. I'll just trim the MITRE attack techniques off the bottom. Sometimes it complains about the length of the log. See if it accepts that. Okay, so that's gone through. And let's see how we went. Oh, we have to close the alert first. I think with this particular alert I did get a little distracted. I think it was fairly obvious from the LOLBin abuse, that it was going to just be a malicious infection, we could have just closed or ran the playbook straight away and closed the ticket quite quickly. But I did want to investigate. But I think, going down, trying to get the any run to run, I think we had enough information when we had confirmation on a virus total that it was malicious, and we had confirmation of Wscript, what the living off land technique is, and then we saw that replicated perfectly on the endpoint, and we also had network connections to non-standard ports. I think really it could have been a 5-minute alert, and that's maybe something I need to learn. Stop going down a rabbit hole. We're not, meant to be tier 2 SOC. We're just trying to be a beginner. We just want to process the tickets and escalate them when required. Anyway, let's look at the results. We got everything correct. So true positive. Check if someone requested the C2 address. That was more, we didn't have any proof from the script of the C2 address, but we did see in the logs there was a connection to a non-standard port, so that was an educated guess. Analyzed it as malicious and confirmed that it was running. So, alright, that's what we've learned on day 84. I'll see you on day 85 of trying to become a SOC analyst.